the difference between, gosh, perhaps we've already talked about this, but I've heard of these terms nano and micro and mega and etc. So what are those differences?
In the world of performance and conversion, doesn't really mean shit, to be honest with you, because you sacrifice things on the bottom end that you don't get at the top end. So a nano influencer is someone who's obviously very small. Usually, a nano would be, you have 1,000 followers to like 5,000. I have friends who have that. They're very, I don't want to call them normalized. They're just like a normal human with a lot of friends, basically, is a nano influencer. And people like that generally have a really cool propensity to work for great little startups, local startups, there's different uses for them in a really cool way, make really cool content. They're really cheap to make content. There's a number of reasons why they're great. Micro influencers is a whole other beast. It's a big part of influencer marketing. Smaller influencers, again, 10,000 to 50,000 followers, let's say, and bloggers and etc. And that's where you'll see a lot of the affiliate programs running. They're posting stuff and they're getting paid commissions on it. The affiliate space is there. Brand ambassador spaces are really big there. And for something like this, is the juice worth the squeeze is really what you have to understand, right? So yeah, the micro influencer is a safer investment for me because they cost me, $800. But how much time did I invest? How much money did they raise? And did that make sense? And a lot of people don't do that math, unfortunately. I'd say the mid-tier of influencer is where people play the most in performance and conversion, just because at least I'm getting a couple 100,000 people to see this thing at once. It's like a commercial almost, right? And I can justify my time. Yeah, my miss is going to hurt a little bit more than if I miss on a guy who's $800. But if I spread it properly, I should be okay. And then there's the macro, and the macros are the big bears. I think they're very valuable, the big influencers. But the problem is their cost to entry, and that each level is a higher roller is getting involved, who's ready to take more risks, because you could pay a nano influencer $800 or $200 and they post and they raise $1,000, great. And then you could pay a macro influencer $100,000, $200,000 for a YouTube video. He might raise you $1 million, but he might eat your 200 alive and it's dead, right? So there's parts that are a little bit tricky, right? I've run performance campaigns on the highest level, macros, $2-3 million in 30 days, big influencers, and it's worked out every time, but it was never one guy or girl. And that's important. So, and making sure that you have someone like us who really, like, when we get into that level, it's game on in terms of making sure that every single possible thing we can uncover is uncovered to make sure we're going to be successful, right? So for our clients, what we recommend usually is a mixture of all of them. But in the case of this, I'd say mid-tier to big guys would probably be the best bang for the buck for what you're trying to achieve.